Hi, everybody. Thanks for tuning in, and I hope everyone had a happy holiday. This week, I'd like to go over Maryland Association of Realtors 2025 session preview for legislative items that they feel are going to be hot topics. That is hosted by Bill Costelli and Lisa May. Lisa May is in the advocacy and legislative department at the Maryland Association of Realtors. So they started off by just, letting everyone know that Maryland, the state of Maryland, is facing a very large budget deficit in the $2 billion range. So we should just be aware and keep our eye out for laws that will be presented that help to offset that. And of course, we all know and are familiar with that we have had to fight a tax on services many times, so we'll be watching out for that. They also talked about accessory dwelling units, once again being hot topic in the legislative session. And they touched on, I think everyone will be happy to hear this, they touched on the HOA and condo resale packet law that was put into place, I think they said back in 2015. And the effort there was that the amount would be capped, but the reality is that it's not being capped because, property management companies are just figuring out workarounds, and they're charging things like, rush fees and so forth, delivery fees, that keep bumping up what was supposed to be the cap. So there is supposed to be some legislation being introduced that will, truly cap that number. So we'll keep our eye on that. Also, you may be seeing some of this wholesaling and assignment of contracts. So there is some talk about putting forward a statute that would require disclosure when a buyer is assigning a contract. It was introduced last year, but I think it was introduced late is what they said. And so they just ran out of time, but they are hopeful that a disclosure about that will be put into statute this year. Real estate fraud and seller fraud. We all are dealing with that. We've all heard stories, even if we haven't gotten a phone call or an email ourselves personally. They actually said there's no perfect answer, but that work is being done to address it. So we'll have to wait and see what they come up with. And they also mentioned that the state fair housing education requirement will be moved to 2 hours instead of the existing 1.5 hours. So when those types of changes are made to the 15 hours of required CE in our state, it actually requires, a change to statute. So that's a quick review for everybody. Hope that helps. And if you would like to actually watch the full hour session, just go to Maryland Realtors YouTube channel. All right, talk to you next week. Bye.